it's Jonathan Hall here. I'm back, and today we're going to figure out how to install Linux on a virtual machine. Currently I'm using Mac. You can do this on Windows or any other operating system that works with virtual machines. The program that we're going to use today is called VirtualBox. Go ahead and download that. The link's in the description. Once it downloads, it's a DMG file or an exe file. If you're on Windows, you just install it, and then you go ahead and download the Linux ISO as well. That's also in the description. It's a link. And when you're ready to go, just hit New. And today we're going to go ahead and do Linux. And type in your distribution. Mine being Ubuntu. You can use Kali or something else, but that's going to be something different right here. But yeah, in this case, we're going to go ahead and go Ubuntu 64-bit. And then hit continue, and right here you're going to figure out how much RAM you want to use. I typically use 2,000 megabytes, which is 2 gigabytes. That's enough to have the operating system running smoothly. And we're going to create a virtual hard disk, which is fine. Virtual disk image is usually what I go for. I don't have time to explain what all of those mean, but if you do some research, you can difference between dynamically allocated and fixed size means that the dynamically allocated hard drive is going to expand on your computer's hard drive as you file more information. So what that means is the VirtualBox program isn't going to install a 20 gigabyte file unless you have that much on your virtual machine. So if that makes sense, just go ahead and click next, continue with the dynamically allocated. You select your size here, and then you select the size of the virtual disk in megabytes. So I'm going to go ahead and go with 10 gigabytes. You can bump it up to 20 depending on how big your hard drive is. So that's created, and then we're going to go ahead and right click it, right? And then we're going to go to settings. And from here, we're going to set all the settings that you need for the machine to run properly. So what you have here is you go to storage, and then you have controller IDE, and you right here is empty. We're gonna go ahead and okay, and then right next to IDE secondary master, there's a CD icon, and you hit choose virtual optic disk file, and this is where you downloaded your Linux ISO. Okay, so you click the ISO. In this case, that's not the Linux that we're using. This is Kali Linux. That's for hacking and hacking distribution. Once you get familiar with normal Linux, you can get better at Kali penetration testing and network security. That's currently what I'm doing. So yeah, find your distribution, go ahead and install it. What it's going to do is going to run you through the install, which is pretty easy. I mean, you go through screen to screen. It's like hitting continue and making your accounts and stuff like that. I think a preschooler could do it. And then once you have that finished, you go ahead and open up your virtual machine. It's going to look like this. Make sure you have no other applications running. If you don't have a lot of RAM, it could freeze up your computer some. Mine, I'm running 16 gigabytes of RAM, so it's fine. And what we're doing is opening up Linux right now. This is Ubuntu 17.10. It's one of the newer releases, and I'm going to show you what it looks like, because not a lot of people know you can do this, but it's really convenient when you're working inside an office or inside a lab, and you need to test certain things. Like you can also test Windows and different other operating systems. You can create a network environment inside of a virtual machine. So what we're going to do is just going to show you that it works. We're going to open up Firefox inside Linux. Go to Google. And there you go. It's working fine. What else we're going to do is I'm just going to show you what the terminal looks like while we have time. So this is where all the programming takes place. If you're familiar with computers, you know this. You know that you can see what directory you're in, typing ls, etc. We can change directories. We can go to desktop. We can see what's on the desktop. Nothing right now. So you get the idea. That's how you install Linux. I appreciate it. Thanks, comment, and subscribe. There will be more videos to come. That was a quick rundown of how to install Linux. If you have any questions, my email will also be in the description. You can email me. And thanks for stopping by.